Hey, what's up guys, Sean here, and this is not a video I thought I was going to be making at this time or ever, but here we are. So apparently, I am no longer eligible to be a YouTube partner, which is strange because I have been since July of 2011, which means I was, what was that, 7 years ago, so I was 13, give or take. So I've been trusted by YouTube since I was 13, and now, at the age of almost 21, but still 20, I am no longer trusted. Strange. So apparently, you now need 4,000 hours of content viewed, plus 1,000 subscribers, I think is the amount. And I don't meet the time watched requirement. My subscribers are over 14,000. That is not an issue. Although I don't know that anyone on those accounts actually uses them anymore, but nonetheless. So yeah, I am at like 2,500 hours, give or take, in the last 12 months, because it's the last 12 months that you need. I'm not eligible, apparently, and they said that on February 20th, they will take away my partnership, and that's that. And I will lose access to partner features along with the monetization. The least of which I'm concerned about is the monetization. I would like to keep it, because it doesn't pay me a lot, but it does pay me still. But I don't particularly care whether I keep the monetization or not. That is the least of my concerns. I will forego that, I suppose. Especially where in the last, 6 or so months at least, YouTube has demonetized and remonetized and demonetized like every video I upload. So it's like, whatever. Okay. Usually when it does get views, which is the first day, it's demonetized, and then when it's fucking remonetized, it's a day later. So I'm not really worried about the monetization aspect of things. That being said, it is quite disheartening to know that they're going to take away my partnership on basically what is a month's notice. Like, I just spent all this money on this and the lights and the camera you're watching me through in the last 2 months. Everything that's over here that you can't see, that's off camera, which maybe I'll show at some point after I finish talking. But I just set all this up because, yes, I have been slacking, would be an understatement, on my YouTube game since 2012. I would argue that I have been non-existent, and quite frankly, that I probably shouldn't be a partner if we were judging based on present day. But we're not judging based on present day. What we're judging based on is whether or not, I can be trusted, and this is their definition of trust. If you have this much content up, you must be safe. Okay, but I don't have that much content up, but I am safe because all the content that is up has been deemed safe for years and years. The channel has been active since 2009, really 2010. It was partnered nearly immediately after that in 2011, and it has been run successfully without issue and without complaint on behalf of YouTube since then. I have never been in trouble in any way, shape, or form. Now, are there videos where I swear and say things that I shouldn't and probably, reflect poorly on me and the YouTubes? Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the videos I did as a 14-year-old in 2012 or 20, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't remember these things. But assuming that everything's all right, which it pretty much has been, or at least at the time it was considered okay, I haven't violated any rules, and to give me a month's notice is so obnoxious because I'm not that far behind on the hours. Like, I have done essentially nothing for the entire 12-month period of which they are now checking to see if I'm eligible. Essentially, I've done nothing. I could get over that hump, I think, with a decent amount of work over the course of, say, 6 months. 6 months sounds like a lot. I don't know. It seems unlikely that I could do it in less time, but it doesn't seem absurd that in 6 months I could do it if I have a couple videos that are successful, which videos being successful is really random. Sometimes I upload a video and it's like, oh, I don't know why you got 1,000 views, and then sometimes I upload a video and it gets 10. And so I don't know why videos catch on. I don't market them differently. I don't market them at all, really. I just post them and tweet them. Tweeting is my only marketing, and that gets like 20 impressions because I never promoted my Twitter when I should have, and then, well, there you go. But 30 days notice, like, there's no way I can get 1,500 more hours of content viewed, in 30 days. Unless something miraculous, unless this video all by itself is like a revelation and gets all the views and I become super successful at this one thing, please, then I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then on top of that, I'm a Machinima partner. My partnership is through the Machinima network, and lots of people used to be Machinima partners. I don't know who of the big names still is, but lots of people used to be. And so what is that? I have a contract. It renewed back in October for another year, largely because I just let it go. And if you let it go, it renews for a year. That's just how it works. So, am I not a partner? Because the only thing that they provide me is partnership through YouTube and the ad revenue. If I'm not a YouTube partner, why do I have a contract with Machinima? Like, what is that even? What purpose does that serve? And so, outside of myself, which who cares about me, right? What does that mean for people who are partnered through networks? Are all the contracts voided immediately? Because at that point, the network isn't providing the service that is, printed on the contract. The contract says that they will partner you with YouTube, basically, and they manage your ad revenue. Well, no, they don't, because this isn't happening anymore. So I have no idea what this means, and this is another example, I think, of YouTube, quite frankly, overreacting. And I get having more stringent requirements. Back when I was partnered, they were very stringent. That's why I am partnered through Machinima. They would not partner me independently. They needed, that's why the networks kind of became what they are, is they started partnering individual channels. Like, that was unheard of until Machinima, or at least for gaming. I don't know what was going on in the regular YouTuber space, but that was unheard of basically until Machinima and the Game Station, I think it was the Game Station, started doing it. So, it was necessary because the rules were very stringent. And back then, partnership meant more. As far as the features you got thumbnails, you got longer than 15 minutes, you got the schedule uploader. I'm pretty sure all of that is now available through other means. I think you just have to verify a phone number or something. So, I mean, it's different now. Like, right now, I think what I'm going to lose other than monetization is the ability to link to external websites and merchandise through cards and end screens, but I don't think I lose much else. So, I'm sure that the stuff where you can subscribe, like pay to subscribe to my channel and that stuff, I'm sure that has to be partner features. But like Super Chat, I bet is a partnered feature, but I don't know. But it's not as bad. Like, as long as I have my thumbnails, please, my thumbnails. I know I have them because I have a different channel that I've helped someone set up I helped someone set up a different channel and I saw that you can get thumbnails. So I'm not too concerned with the thumbnails, but I get having the rules, but this is too fast, guys. You can't do that. You can't pull the rug out from people on 30 days notice. That's fucking stupid. Especially where it's not like they're suspending monetization on your channel. They're pulling the partnership. Like, isn't there a way to make it so I can't monetize the videos, meaning that you're not liable to the advertisers for whatever I post, without pulling my partnership entirely? And then as soon as I cross that threshold again, do whatever your review, whatever you got to do, and we're done with it. Like, I don't understand why it has to be all or nothing. Like, there should be just say that this video is not eligible for monetization across my whole page until the day which I hit the number again. And then when I hit the number, do it. Like, send the robot back through whatever he does and have the robot check it out and then let's go. Like, I know, I don't think the requirements are too much. Like, I don't think 4,000 hours is that much. But when you're someone sitting at 2,500 hours and you're not terribly far off, giving me 6 months to figure it out might be better than just telling me fuck off. I'm just saying it might, be worth it. Because, look, I'm going to keep trucking here, I guess, in the way that I am. I, again, just purchased lots of equipment to be able to try and make the videos I wanted to make, and to change up what I was doing. But other people aren't going to, and they're not going to for whatever reason. But, if they're someone like me who's not that far off, but is kind of far off, but, I've almost got 3/4 of the requirement, it's kind of bullshit to tell me that actually in 30 days, unless you can get that last, quarter, you're done, and you're gonna have to reapply. Like, why? Since 2011, I have been trusted to do this, and up to this point, I have not had an issue. I have not had a strike. I have not had anything. Nothing's happened. I don't interact with YouTube themselves, ever. It's never happened. Back then, when I had to get partnered, we had to do this weird game where I had to be on Skype with a Machinima guy and a Google YouTube guy, and, like, I had to give permission to the Google guy, to give permission to the Machinima guy, to let them into my account, to partner it, blah, blah, blah. Like, this whole, like, weird process, which I'm sure now is just, like, you submit an application, and then they send you an email, and you hit accept or something. Like, I'm sure it's much easier now. But it was complicated then. That was the only time I've interacted with actual YouTube, like, employees, because it's the only time I've had a problem. So it's absolutely absurd to me that we sit here today talking about this at all. This doesn't make any sense. And so, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed, but I'm largely just speaking up about the fact that I think 30 days notice is not enough notice for a change like this. Because, look, I don't make that much money off of this, but the $10 to $30 that I'll pull in right now with posting nothing is $10 to $30 I won't have. And when I make considerations like I need to buy this microphone or I want to buy this light, well, if I make $30, for a couple months straight, that bought the light. Otherwise, I have to make considerations as, like, is actual life more important than this light? And probably. This light's not that important. So it's, I don't know. I don't know why we couldn't have been given a little bit more notice. As far as I can tell, the major violations of this have been by channels who meet these requirements. Like, we have not been running into a plague of channels my size and smaller that are tarnishing the YouTube brand. We have run into a plague of partners who are far larger than I am, far larger than I ever dreamed to be, violating these rules. So why are we, and by we, I don't want to separate myself because I'm small at this point, but, like, I have been a partner for quite a long time. If you just partnered someone last week who has barely met these requirements or hasn't, like, is at the same point I am, like 1,000 subscribers and they have 2,500 hours, then fine, unpartner them, do whatever, have at it, Hoss. I don't care. You want to be tough guy, be tough guy. But, like, for those channels that have been around for this long without having a run-in with you, to take that away from them because of what channels who meet these requirements have done is kind of absurd. The channels who meet these requirements are the ones you should be mad at because they're the ones violating the rules. Like, I didn't tell PewDiePie to do what he did. I don't even know the other guy's name. Paul, whatever the fucking dude's Paul's his last, I don't know. I didn't tell him to do what he did. I didn't tell those channels with hundreds of thousands upon millions of views on, Spider-Man doing inappropriate children things. I didn't tell any of them to do that, and they had many more eyes on them to, catch this. Like, YouTube, you are partly responsible for this, aren't you? You partnered these channels and gave them a name, and you've promoted them through your own, videos and, little website features. You've invited them out, I'm sure, to plenty of partnery type gatherings of very, very popular YouTubers that you have done in the past, and you turned a blind eye to what they were actually doing on their channel, and it came back to bite you. Now, sure, I might be doing horrible things on my channel, but at the same time, I am nowhere near as dangerous to your brand as that guy is. Because no one's watching my shit. Quite frankly, no one's watching it. So, if I'm violating every rule under the sun, you might discover it one day and be like, oh, that wasn't cool. But, I didn't get on the Today Show. I didn't do enough to warrant being on the Today Show. However, these channels that really have got us in this mess, they did do enough to get on the Today Show. So, I don't know. I just think this doesn't add up, man. Because even with these rules in place, those other channels who have been getting you in trouble are going to continue getting you in trouble. Because they're the problem. And I guess it just really sucks that people much larger than myself who have much greater responsibility to pay attention to what type of content they are creating have screwed over people like me, but not even me, because they are just so greedy that they couldn't just make regular, normal content. I don't want to get into a rant about what those channels post on a regular basis, but they post things that are designed to target very young people, and I mean children, and they're doing things that children should not be watching. Just because you censor yourself and you don't swear and you don't, talk about terrible violence does not mean the content being produced on a vast majority of the channels we are talking about here is acceptable. I don't even think PewDiePie under normal circumstances is acceptable. I think his absurd behavior with the screaming and the acting like a child to appeal to children is ridiculous. Grow up. Because sometimes he's playing games, I imagine, that maybe they're not, rated M, but are not, for 7-year-olds. So, at the same time, you should not be targeting 7-year-olds. And I think that there's just a lot of problems with this new rule because it affects the channels that aren't the problem. We aren't what's causing your dilemma. Coca-Cola doesn't give a shit what I post and if their ad runs next to it because 8 people saw it. Coca-Cola gives a shit when PewDiePie does what he does and you've got him making YouTube Red shows. That's when they give a shit. Nobody cares what I'm doing. Nobody ever cares what I'm doing. So, well, that's that, I guess. I'll stop ranting in circles. Hopefully this video gets so many views that I get repartnered. But if not, partnership signing off.